船も堤防を越えるかもしれない。
Oh. These videos are so sad because, again, I think we had this in part 1. This is from the 2011 Japan tsunami, and so many people lost their lives because the water, like, you have no time to prepare for this. They might have like small signals to warn you, but look how fast that water came in. Those cars, they were getting pushed around like they were nothing, like feathers. It's terrifying. So many people died, so much damage. They're still rebuilding. That's not done. Like, they are still rebuilding. There's some places that are just completely uninhabitable now. Just destroyed. It's horrific. It's so sad.
Perfect way to navigate the waters while you and your loved ones get to spend some quality time enjoying everything that the place has to offer. And while cruise ships have been made to resist any harsh weather conditions, some things are unpredictable and sometimes chaos can hit in the blink of an eye. This is what happened to the Louis Majesty ship as it was sailing off the coast of France. It was met not by one, not two, but 3 massive waves. The ship was traveling from Cartagena, Spain to a town in Italy when it was suddenly met by a very scary set of waves. Surely the cruise ship was built to resist such challenging conditions, but no one would have ever thought that they would have to face 3 waves in one go.
That's why cruise ships are also terrifying. I mean, just any form of transportation on the water is a risk. And I remember in high school, someone I went to high school with, they were on one of the cruise ships that capsized. It was on the news. Big deal. That was insane. But it just makes me think of the Poseidon Adventure. But not the original, just the Poseidon, the one with Emmy Rossum and Josh Lucas. The one, but the one with Fergie when she hangs onto a piano and then drops and dies. The end.
If big waves are scary on their own, imagine what happens when they come along with a natural disaster. Back in 2016, Taiwan was hit by Typhoon Maggie. This typhoon was so big that it caused 10,000 people to evacuate their homes, and it brought one of the scariest waves ever recorded. You can see on this video how it hits the coast, mercilessly, and it even rises above the lighthouse. That lighthouse is at least 27 meters high, which is roughly the size of a 10-story building, but it surely looks small against this monstrous wave. Surprisingly, the lighthouse still stands, which goes on to show how effective Taiwanese architects are at making strong, steady buildings.
That's insane. The fact that that lighthouse stayed up is crazy to me. But that's, I mean, building power, amazing. But that's insane. Those waves are way too big. No thank you. There should be a limit on how big they can get. That's just not right. That's so frightening. Imagine how frightening it must be to be a lighthouse keeper. It would be like the movie The Lighthouse. I for sure would go insane. 100%. Hey guys, welcome back to Top 10 Central Dark, your place for all things horror. I'm your host, Lucy McPhee, and these are the top 10 monster waves caught on camera, part 2. Do you like the water? Do you surf? Do you live life on the edge and put your feet in the ocean? Let me know in the comments. I obviously hate it. No thank you.
So popular that it has been listed multiple times as the winner of the Billabong Big Wave Contest. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that the waves don't come all the time, so you have to be aware of the season to make sure you catch them. Once they come, these waves can be as big as 60 feet or 28 meters tall, which makes it exciting for surfers and amusing for watchers. The whole place is surrounded by beautiful cliffs where you can watch those who dare to go on these waves. Unless, of course, you're one of those lucky surfers that managed to get in there.
Look, surfers, I understand adrenaline junkies, I do, because I want to go skydiving more than anything. Throw me out of a plane, please. Hopefully there's a parachute on my back. If there's not, it is what it is. I think that's the only intense thing I do want to do, skydiving. Bungee jumping, no, because I'm so scared of the cord going around my neck. But surfing, I get it. Like, it's usually small stakes. But these waves, 60 feet? The power of the wave that's crashing over your head. I don't understand. I don't understand that thrill. I can't put myself in that mindset. Because how painful would that be, falling into that kind of wave? 60 feet. Falling from it. Oh my god. It'd be like hitting concrete. What? Where's this water coming from? Wow! Oh my god, what the hell? That was really confusing. This is, again, just as terrifying. But I was confused as to where the water was coming from. It looked like water was going into the water more. Like a rush of water went into the water and then it just came up. I don't understand how that worked. That was terrifying. I don't even know what caused that. This looks... I don't know where we are here. I mean, initially I thought it looked like a lake until we turned. That was frightening. I thought maybe a dam had blown open or something. That's frightening. This is why I just don't go even near the water. Just in case. Just like to be up high. Don't get me.
A group of tourists in Alaska got the chance to witness a spectacular show of glacier calving during their visit to the Kenai Fjords National Park. It all started with a bit of ice coming off the glacier, and soon enough it felt as if the whole thing was going to fall apart. Calving usually occurs when the glaciers come to an end. It's a process that can last years, and it causes the landmass to decrease, like the Greenland ice sheet, which is currently losing a lot of its ice.
That's the risk when you go and see glaciers, because obviously at all times the ice is breaking off of the glacier, which is because of global warming. But I won't get into that. I know people get triggered by that stuff. And obviously, yeah, I've been on these boat trips where I've gone to the glacier to see the ice break off, and it's incredible. But I cannot imagine going and seeing a large chunk break off. The power that would cause such an intense wave. No, thank you. That's frightening. I would not want to be on that boat. Certainly not that. Especially considering everyone is just on the railing. Can you imagine? Bye. I'm sure a lot of people fell down.
Occur in rivers around the world when the leading edge of an incoming tide race upstream against the flow of the normal current. They typically only happen in places where there's a large tidal range of more than 20 feet and can lead to some spectacular sights. At the right time of year, some become popular sites for surfers, but others can be a lot more dangerous. One place that often sees this phenomenon is the Qiantang River in China, and it's where the world's largest tidal bore happens.
I feel like this is what we just saw in the last video. This might be the cause of it. Okay, so I think what he's saying here is when two currents meet and then it creates like this tide, or this giant, not tidal wave, but crazy waves. I think that's what's happening, but I don't understand where the two currents are coming from. He did explain it. Maybe I just don't understand it. But two different currents, it can even occur in a river? God damn. That's scary. That's very frightening. No, thank you. See, the water's just too unpredictable for my liking.
Of buoys monitor the conditions of the water, and in May of 2018, one of the devices near Campbell Island recorded something unbelievable. During a storm, the waves reached a height of 78 feet, which broke the record for the largest wave ever detected in the ocean. While this isn't as high as some tsunamis can get, this was formed purely by the power of the wind blowing over the ocean's surface. It's one of the least studied regions on Earth because of how remote it is, despite accounting for more than 22% of the total ocean area of the planet.
78 feet the waves reached. No, oh my god, can you imagine how violently sick you would feel on that boat? Oh, the feeling in your stomach as it would drop down off that wave. Oh my god, I can't even imagine. It'd be like on a never-ending roller coaster. Coming down 78 feet, you may as well just be free-falling off a building. Holy shit. I don't know how fishermen do it. Or yeah, fishermen? People who export goods, shipments. I don't know, like, props to them because they've got bodies made of steel.
Cross waves are a strange ocean phenomenon that occurs when two weather systems at perpendicular angles meet at sea. As waves are formed by the wind, they continue in their original direction until their energy dissipates, and the result is a grid-like structure on the ocean's surface. They are extremely dangerous and difficult to navigate, and almost look unreal. They can occur virtually anywhere that there's a body of water, and are linked with a higher than normal number of shipping accidents when the vessels are caught in them.
Again, I think this is similar to the other clip I reacted to, where it's different currents meeting and then creating something like this, like a grid appearance. But if you get stuck in that, you're not really getting out of it, because currents are pushing you so many different ways. You're never going to be strong enough to get out of that. That's why riptides are so terrifying. That's why they warn people not to go too far out, because once the current takes you, you are not strong enough to go up against it, no matter how good a swimmer you are. Sorry. It's the facts. That's terrifying. No thank you. Well, there we have it. Thanks for tuning into this video. I've been your host, Lucy McPhee. Stick around for bloopers. Fun story, when I was on a glacier boat, my mum fell down. She fell into the captain's cabin. Convenient. Shout out, Mum. Just kidding. She probably doesn't watch my videos anymore. My parents used to, and then they said, okay, not anymore. You're not our favourite daughter anymore. I just don't understand it. I can't wrap my head around it. And then I've said it before, I've been in that experience of being inside of a wave and it keeps going and you're like, I'm never getting out, I'm just drowning. That's it. That's the end. Goodbye. But I guess some people love that. And to each their own. If you enjoy it, that's fine. Just be safe. But I mean, you can't really be as safe. You can be as safe as you possibly can be, but it is what it is. Okay, I have to pause for a second. I'll continue after. Anyway, cruise ships are frightening. I've seen so many videos of like the windows as the water. It's like you may as well just be underwater. Just be underwater.